is phenomenal.
It absolutely sets us apart from all other car companies.
Right now, get a new Subaru, and Subaru and our retailers will donate $300 to charity. Get 2.9% APR financing on a new 2024 Outback during the 2023 Subaru Share the Love event.
Choose Counter when you order ahead in the McDonald's app, and you can skip the line and get your food faster. Well played. Order ahead in the app to save time.
With Duracell, holiday magic comes easy. Enjoy it while it lasts. Because in the blink of an eye, they become...
Set for the start of the second half. Houston and Rice. It's a 16-point lead for number 3 Houston. Guess what do you make of these first half stats?
The Cougars, as we anticipated, dominated the rebounds, and the Cougars were so efficient. 9 assists on 13 made field goals. Rice having so much difficulty. 11 turnovers is way too high. But they really struggled just getting the ball offensively below the free throw line where they had a scoring opportunity. You know, I guess if there was any negative or a point of emphasis for Kelvin Sampson, is the fact that Cougars did not do a very good job with second chance points. They got 10 offensive rebounds, but that only showed up as 11 second chance points. That's two things. Number one, when you get a rebound down inside, they're looking too often to kick it back out, which I don't want to be hypocritical because I like that play, and often that's the cleanest look you get. But sometimes you down there in the paint, you get that offensive rebound, you need to go right back up.
Let's go back down to Austin Ivan, our courtside reporter.
Yeah, Matt, Rice's 2 leading scorers, Makai Mason and Travis Evie, both with just 3 apiece in the first half. I just talked with Coach Pear, and plain and simple, he said, I just want to see them make a shot this half. They are a combined 2 for 13. He said, when we get a chance to knock down a shot, we have to take advantage of it. Defensively, when they switched to that zone in the first half, he said, one, it was because they wanted to try to keep Fiedler from picking up another foul, but then he also said, it gives us a little bit of a break. Houston plays so quickly, we have to slow down and play at our pace of game, not the tempo that they are playing at.
You know, it's interesting. I hear coaches say that a lot, but when you're getting this kind of relentless pressure, it's not a tempo of fast break up and down. It's a tempo of chaos, right? Helter-skelter. And suddenly you get really antsy because you have so much pressure on you. It'll be interesting to watch and see if what Scott told Austin, whether they're able to do it here in the second half.
A bucket there for Max Fiedler. His first 2 points on cue, playing with 3 fouls. He's the all-time field goal percentage leader at Rice, 65.7% in his career.
Well, he's coming off of a unique double-double for a 6'11" guy against Houston Christian. He had 12 rebounds and 11 assists. But let me tell you something. If you are leaving L.J. Crowder unguarded on the three-point line, you did not pay attention during the scouting report. That is a bad idea.
3 made threes for Cryer. He's made the most threes in the Big 12 this season.
4th most of active players in Power 5 conference. Ooh, that's a travel.
Keanu Dawes travels. Scott Pera looks on at his team.
Scott Pera's team has averaged 11 turnovers per game, already up to 14 here early in the second half.
The Owls played a difficult schedule to start things off. He did not think they would start 1-5. He thought maybe realistically 3-3. They came home and beat UT Mart and Houston Christian. Francis off a good feed from Cryer.
Yeah, really nice balance by L.J. Cryer. Got into the paint and just stopped. I would expect the Cougars to go inside and attack Fiedler, see if they can pick up that 4th foul here early in the second half.
Dawes pass for Husainovich. It's off his hands and out. Scott Pera, his team went to Texas. They lost by 16. The game before lost against Harvard. Harvard has a good team this year.
A really good team. Well, the Owls lost 5 in a row, and then they've won their last 2. And Scott Perry was talking about that he really attributes it to their defense. Their defense has not been very good. They're giving up 80 points per game. He talked about a new system, but that's a great example. I mean, that is just too easy. Juwan Roberts caught the ball, no fakes, no screens, took one dribble and an uncontested jump hook.
A good start for the Owls. The lead is stretched to 23 on a 7-0 run.
Is UH.
23-point lead for Houston inside Fertitta Center. Now back down to our courtside reporter, Austin Ivan.
Matt, Coach Sampson had an interesting comparison when talking about the growth of his team throughout this season. He said it's like flying a plane, that they are going to hit some turbulence along the way. A bird might even get in the propeller, but the goal is to just land the plane. Right now in early December, Houston's plane is still ascending. The Cougars are at the beginning of their journey, but the pilot, Coach Sampson, said he just wants to see progress every game, not take any steps back. Tonight, it looks like they are still ascending in the right direction.
Holy cow, Austin. I got to contradict Coach. I think the goal's got to be to keep the birds out of the engine. Oh, my gosh. You might absorb a couple of birds.
What was that? Captain Sully landing it on the Hudson?
Yeah, no doubt.
Mason is fouled by Roberts.
A tremendous effort by Juwan Roberts, and the Cougars have dominated the glass. They're plus 12 and just relentless in how they stay after the basketball.
And I think good teams find ways to win ugly. They did that at Xavier. Foul trouble across the team. You go to a hostile environment and you pull out a win. It's not always ugly, but there ain't no for a reason.
Well, there were like 175 fouls called in the first half of that game. It was unbelievable, and I really enjoyed Jamal Shedd's comments about Emmanuel Sharp and L.J. Cryer. And they said, you know, what were you thinking on the bench? And Jamal Shedd said, I was thinking my guys got it. They got it. They're fine. We got no problem. Oh, boy, that's leadership. And I thought Emmanuel Sharp was terrific, and L.J. Cryer, of course, with the 5 3-pointers made. And it has been a while since Travis Edey for the Rice Owls has had a clean look at the basket.
He's now 1 of 5 from deep after that miss.
Well, you go right back inside and go after Fiedler, see if you can pick up that 4th foul.
Cryer, good pass for Francis.
Well, that is really good basketball. The last 2 minutes, Cougars on a 9-0 run.
Evie. Keanu Dawes, corner 3.
Well, that was nice. We saw Keanu take a shot in the first half. We wondered whether that was in his arsenal, and clearly it is. That kid's going to be good. He's going to be a really good player at Rice.
Roberts faces up against Keanu Dawes. 5th-year senior against a true freshman.
Good defense.
Mason back for Evie.
Comes into the game averaging 17 points per game. He is now 1 for 8 from the floor.
Sharp hits the 3. Jamal Shead can lay that up if he wants, but he passes it to the corner.
That is now 7 assists for Jamal Shead.
Rusanovic is short. Mason keeps it alive to Travis Evie.
Good pass. Oh boy, there's the passing skill of Max Fiedler. It's the first time we've seen it. That is a beautiful bounce pass on a back-cutting Rusanovic.
Max Fiedler, top 10 Rice history in all of these categories. Field goal percentage, blocks, assists, rebounds, starts, and games. And there's a dunk for Xavier Francis.
Scott Perry talked about one of the things they've struggled with is their pick-and-roll defense, and right now they are getting demolished forced by the Cougars with a simple on-the-ball screen.
Fiedler backing down. Francis, good pass to the corner for Evie. Back to Fiedler, and it's Dawes missing the three. Ghost screens have given them problems. So what's the best way defending ghost screens?
You know, ghost screens is one of those, it's like in baseball. Every pitcher threw a sweeper, right? A sweeper was just a slider. A ghost screen is just a slip. You come over like you're going to screen and you slip. But right now, that's not what's giving them problems. They're having problems defending a straight-on pick-and-roll offense by the Cougars.
Roberts stepped out of bounds. And Rice has stretched this lead to 50-25 here in the second half inside Fertitta Center. Including some late buzzer beaters, K-State over Villanova, TCU against Georgetown.
Yeah, that K-State win the other night was amazing. They came back. Kid hits a three down by 2, and what a huge win. And that is a good basketball game, a Final Four caliber game when UConn went to Allen Fieldhouse and lost by 4 to the Kansas Jayhawks. Just really good basketball games all across the schedule. And good one going on right now. Texas at Marquette. And well, Marquette right now putting it on the Longhorns.
Marquette's playing a tough schedule. They had consecutive wins over UCLA and Kansas before falling to Purdue. They also have a win against Illinois. Illinois looked really good last night, beating FAU at Madison Square Garden. Dunn slips but keeps his feet somehow. Shed for Cryer. Another three.
Jamal Shed now with 8 assists. Boy, he had his eyes locked on L.J. Cryer the entire time he was penetrating.
4 made threes for Cryer. He hit 5 from beyond the three-point line at Xavier on Friday. Fiedler, good finish around Tugler. Well, Reed, they wanted to shoot more. Have you ever had a player that was 67% from the field and you had to beg him to shoot like Max Fiedler?
Yeah, I've heard about guys like that, you know, and especially somebody who's such a good passer as Fiedler. When he gets the ball, he always sees somebody open, and rarely is his first look to the rim.
2 for 2 tonight, but battling through foul trouble is Max Fiedler. The Cougars lead 53-27 halfway through the second half inside Fertitta Center.
I could not agree more with your observation that the reason he can be comfortable and wait for it to come to him is because Jamal Shed will bring it to him.
Some spectacular passes from Jamal Shed from the paint where he could finish with the layup, instead finding his teammates for an open three. Husainovich, entry pass for Selden. Good hustle from Dunn to keep it alive to Roberts.
Boy, getting around, fronting the post player and knocking away a post-entry bounce pass. That's about as good a post defense as you could ask for from Damian Dunn.
Shed.
Well, he's got a mismatch. If you want to isolate, Jamal Shed got a Charlie horse. Suffered a blow to his thigh. The officials need to stop play a second. There they go.
But before the whistle, Cryer just hit his 5th three of the night. Shows he doesn't really need to come off a screen or step into it. That was a flat-footed three.
Well, if you're going to nitpick for the Cougars, one of the things that jumps out at you statistically, they have 18 points off of turnovers, which you say, oh, that's a pretty big number. They have forced 16 turnovers. You would think that number, instead of 18, would be closer to 30 or 34 points, because Scott Parrish' team has struggled so much taking care of the ball. But then you can say the same thing on offensive rebounds. They have 12 offensive rebounds and yet only 16 second chance points. So you look at the score and you go, man, you're really nitpicking, aren't you? Well, that's the point of these games. It's the process. It's not the outcome. And so those are areas of needed improvement for the Cougars.
Gabe Ward has checked in, 21 for Rice, freshman from Frisco. Tugler back in. And that's Tugler trying to beat Jamal Shead when he should just finish at the rim.
I did not realize it, but Stu just handed us a note that Rice has not yet gone to the free throw line in this game. Cougars have 9 fouls. They're about to go for a double bonus, but boy, how unusual to be at this stage and still not have attempted a free throw.
Cryer with the miss. Feeler grabs the loose ball. Warren missed the three. Wilson rebounds. Wilson's first minutes, that's early in the first half. He's playing with Arsenault. Mid-range from Dunn.
That ball was in there deep. Ooh. They're going to review that. That's a forearm to the face of JoJo Tugler, and Max Fiedler is going to get a flagrant one at least. Scott Perez over there saying what happened, but that's clearly an elbow. Oh, 2 elbows to the face. Yeah, I'm not a big advocate. Yeah, that might even be a flagrant 2. He might be done for the day. Scott Perez didn't see what happened, or he would not be arguing so vociferously. Let's go with a flagrant 1 and let's shoot and leave him in the game. I thought it was the first elbow, and the first elbow is like, that's arguably a basketball play, but then it was the left arm where after he hit him with the right elbow, then he turned around and clearly threw that left elbow at his face.
Our crew chief tonight, Keith Kimball. Referees, Kelly Self and Christopher Merlot.
Good crew. We'll look at it again. Look, that's the first one where he hit him, but then it's that one that came through and hit him in the face. And that's not a basketball move, right? As you're running down the court, there's no reason to extend your left arm all the way behind you. I would be surprised if this is not at least a flagrant 1.
He had 2 fouls in 2 minutes. Picked up his third late in the first half. Struggled against Houston 2 years ago. 4 fouls in 22 minutes. Called a flagrant 1.
Well, Scott Perez arguing right now with Christopher Merlot, but he's fortunate he didn't lose his big guy, because that could have easily been a flagrant 2. And more importantly, that is now 4 fouls on Max Fiedler.
4 fouls in 16 minutes.
We got a good crew tonight. The coaches are never satisfied with it, but boy, Keith Kimball and Kelly Self, Christopher Merlot, and Scott Perrin may not agree with me right at this moment, but I think they've done a nice job calling this game.
Best compliment we can give. It's 30 minutes into this game. We have not introduced them yet. They went 30 minutes without us even having to tell the audience who they are.
That's a great point.
A Tugler to the line. Well, Tugler, a player that, as we've heard from Coach Sampson and the staff this week after his foul trouble, they're going to let him play through this. They're going to let him learn from these mistakes. And it's great to see a coaching staff allow a freshman talent like JoJo Tugler to play through these mistakes and these learning experiences.
Well, it helps that a majority of those mistakes are hustling mistakes, playing hard mistakes. And yeah, sometimes he gets out of control, but boy, it's much easier to try to tone somebody down than have to rev them up.
A player that loves contact, JoJo Tugler.
I want to give a shout out to a U of H fan, a guy named Jamie Hollingsworth. He's a former high school coach, was a video coordinator at UAB. He goes on social media before every U of H game and puts out there one of the best scouting reports. I mean, he must be watching film, and he puts together such good insight and comments and keys to the game. And I told him I was going to steal his material, but I would give him credit for it tonight. So, Coach Hollingsworth, I appreciate your scouting reports.
What was his scouting report tonight for this one?
Hey, he was right on. I mean, he said, hey, look, the head of the snake is Travis Eby. You cut off that head. He talked about the fact that you got to pressure Max Fiedler when he gets out there. And then he talked about the importance of dominating the ball. I mean, he goes down through each player. He goes through tendencies, team tendencies, and I don't know how much film he's watching, but, man, if you want to outsource your scouting report, you may give my buddy Jamie a phone call.
Selden will get to the line. He draws a foul. Fifth-year transfer from Gardner-Webb. Back tonight after missing the last 2 games with ankle injury. Now Terrence Arsenault back in the game. Selden misses the first free throw. He's averaging 9 points per game.
The first free throw.
1 of 2. It's Arsenault, Wilson, Dunn, Tugler, and Ramon Walker Jr. Ramon Walker Jr. in for the first time tonight. Shadow Creek High School product. Now in his 3rd season at Houston. Tugler lowers the shoulder and then uses the hook.
Boy, JoJo Tugler doing a great job talking on defense. That time coming down, Malik Wilson didn't know an on-the-ball screen was coming. And boy, let's see if you can see JoJo Tugler. This is down on the offensive end, a nice little jump hook through contact. But coming back down on the other end, boy, he's talking. And the best teams are loud. They are talking and talking constantly. And that is unusual from a freshman.
And you hear from a lot of coaches this day and age, just getting young student athletes to talk, period, is difficult. On the court or off.
That's when you hear coaches talking about their teams connected. They're communicating, and boy, there's nothing worse than you're defending the ball, and all of a sudden a screen comes up on your blind side, and you don't know it's coming. And now JoJo Tugler has taken over this game a little bit in the last 2 minutes.
Now Wilson with the block there, or Tugler?
Yes.
Mason to inbound. Tugler just hugging Akuche, and they're sharing a laugh there. Selden in the corner. Makai Mason guarded by Arsenault. Akuche draws the foul.
Well, Akuche caught that ball. He was about 2 feet from the basket, and the first thing he did was bring it down around his knees and allowed Malik Wilson and everyone to start slapping at it. And I guarantee you, Scott Parra would like to see his big guy duck in, catch the ball, keep it high, and turn and put it in the basket.
Hey, Reed, let's project forward a bit. You've seen Rice in person now, twice in the last couple of years. They're entering the American. How do you think Rice will fare in the American this season?
Yeah, I do for sure. Rice has had quite the journey from the Southwest Conference to the WAC to Conference USA, and I think the American Athletic Conference is going to be a really good fit for Rice. Not only basketball, but the success they've started having on the football side.
Here is Arsenault. Wilson back to Terrence Arsenault. Wilson tapped the rebound out to Mason. Gabe Warren missed the layup. I think this team can score a lot of points. I think their success in the American is going to come down to defending. How are they going to defend some of the best in the American?
Well, they're averaging 77 points per game, and Scott Parra's team is giving up 80. But you can't give up 80%. They shoot 44 from the floor. They give up 47 from the floor. They shoot 31 from the three-point line. They give up 37 from the three-point line. That is just not very good defensively.
Here's Malik Wilson. And Damian Dunn finishes from the free throw line.
Anytime he wants, he can go get that shot.
An NBA-level craftiness in the paint from Damian Dunn.
Well, the Cougars have blown this one wide open. Damian Dunn and his teammates up by 32 here in the second half. And I would not anticipate they'll take their foot off the accelerator. We'll step aside. The Cougars up big, 7:43 in the second half.
Relationships with the 10-time All-Star are very different. For Coach Pera, it's deep-rooted. He feels like Harden is family because he has known him since Harden was 13. Now for Coach Sampson, who coached him later on in his life, he feels more like a mentor because that was a completely different phase. Both of these coaches said, though, it's completely normal for their phone to buzz at midnight, and it's James Harden calling to either check in, ask a quick question, or just say, hey, can I come work out with your team tomorrow? Just cool to hear how both these coaches have made an impact on James Harden, one of the best scorers in the NBA.
Great stuff, Austin.
JoJo Tugler, I'm just telling you ought to just highlight him and follow him. Look, he cuts off the dribble drive. He rotates over. He pressures Fiedler. He deflects the ball. He gets the steal. I'm telling you, he's like a whirlwind out there on the floor. It is amazing how active he is.
Arsenault against Dawes.
Good pass.
And Tugler with the layup.
JoJo Tugler, we keep talking about needing, like Scott Pera said, an aha moment. He might be having an aha moment right now.
Tugler guarding Max Fiedler. Good help from Arsenault. Wilson. It's the layup putback. Ramon Walker Jr.
Kid has as good a nose for the basketball as anybody on this team. Ramon Walker. It is amazing when there's a loose ball or a 50-50 ball, meaning anybody can go get it. Boy, it's amazing how many times that ball ends up in the hands of Ramon Walker.
Now just around the free throw line, a high school all-star game around Houston, breaking out with Walker and Keanu Dawes and JoJo Tugler, some of the best in Houston over the last 3 years. And then on the bench, LJ Cryer, a few years older than them. And Selden finishes.
And if we extend it out 90 miles, we'll add Terrence Arsenault to that all-star game.
Do you want to whistle on that from Selden, knocking the ball away after the make? Or is that just ticky-tacky?
I don't know. You're begging for a call when you're up 34 and you're on the ref to call a delay a game. So I'm going to go with no. I'm not critical of that. Boy, Terrence Arsenault. Wow, going strong. Maybe the most aggressive we've seen Terrence Arsenault on the offensive end this season.
Fiedler against Tugler. Fiedler will go to the free throw line.
Fiedler came into this game averaging 9 points and 9 rebounds. Right now, he's got 4 points and 0 rebounds. The leading rebounder and one of the key focuses of Kelvin Sampson in their defensive scheme was Max Fiedler, and they have done a terrific job against the 6'11" fifth-year senior out of Florida.
As Scott Pera told us, Max Fiedler, Travis Evie, 2 of the easiest players to ever coach. Low maintenance. He says nobody's perfect, but those 2 are perfect to coach.
It's interesting. He hasn't been to the free throw line very much. He's shooting 58%, and those free throws look like a 90% free throw shooter. Beautiful form by Max Fiedler.
Working on his NBA at Rice. Wilson.
Good pass.
Dawes blocks Tugler.
Now Arsenault down inside trying to defend 6'11" Fiedler.
Evie missed the 3. Selden the offensive rebound. Arsenault with 5 minutes left.
Evie averaging 17 points per game, still only 3 points in this game.
And only 2 shots taken from the field. Damian Dunn with the mid-range. points for Dunn.
Well, I am becoming a bigger and bigger Damian Dunn fan every time I watch him play the game. He just makes it look simple, and you said it, he plays like an NBA veteran, right? He's never out of control. He uses his body. He maximizes contact. He steps back. And it's a really cool feature. He purchased his first car this week through the help of a NIL deal through Chastain Ford, and it was really cool watching him driving the car and how proud he was of that vehicle.
Cedric Lott in the game has it knocked away. Well, you hear coaches all the time where you talk about the unmeasurables, the things they don't show up on this stat sheet, deflections, tips, how many times you dive on the floor. I think Joe Tugler racks those up every time he steps on the floor.
There's no doubt about that. But you say the same thing about Ramon Walker and Terrence Arsenault. I'm not sure there's anybody playing with more energy or effort than Terrence Arsenault. And you can say that about Jamal Shedd, and you can say that about Juwan Roberts, and you can say that about Javier Francis.
Arsenault 4 rebounds in 12 minutes tonight. Lott guarding Fiedler.
Interesting, Rice that time we're trying to run post splits where you throw the ball into the post player. Instead of him turning and squaring up and looking at cutters, he's got his back to the basket, and the guy that threw the pass to him is either screening for somebody else, but you almost have this crossing action in front of him, and almost worked.
Fiedler misses the first. Arsenault with the rebound. Here comes Malik Wilson.
Well, I would love to see Arsenault continue to be aggressive on the offensive end.
Six to shoot for Malik Wilson. Fifth rebound for Arsenault. Lott with the tip. Arsenault has 6 boards. Lott with the putback. It just rings off.
Cedric Lott was about 18 inches above the rim, and he tried to lay it in. I was like, oh, big fella, go ahead and tear the rim off the hinges.
He missed the layup. Arsenault is a rebounding machine tonight.
Yeah, it's just effort, right? I mean, Terrence Arsenault is just going after every rebound. And for the Rice Owls, Max Fiedler just picked up his 5th foul, and boy, it has been all Cougars here in the second half.
Just 3 points. 1 of 12 from the field after averaging 23.5 his last 3 contests.
1 for 12 from the floor here this evening. And let me ask a question. When's the last time that a point guard won National Defensive Player of the Year?
Been a long time. I can't recall one in recent memory.
I put you on the spot. I can't think of one either, but I tell you what, there is not a better defensive player in America than Jamal Shedd. And he proves it night in and night out, and it doesn't matter who it is. Boy, I tell you what, if your primary offensive weapon is on the perimeter, that is going to be eliminated by Jamal Shedd.
We saw it with Max Abmas last year. We heard from Bruce Pearl, NCAA tournament last year, saying that he was the best guard defensively in the country. Rice was in the 60s at Texas in non-conference. They have 33 points tonight. Arsenault against Dawes.
Good pass. See, we saw LJ Cryer in the first half get to that, or second half get to that exact same spot and stop. Arsenault's going in there and he's jumping off of 1 foot, and that suddenly there's a panic, right? You've got to do something before you travel. Would love to see him go in there and jump stop.
Alojiki. So Max Fiedler fouled out before the immediate timeout. And here comes Ryan Elvin.
Max Fiedler, who's averaging 9 points and 9 rebounds per game, had 6 points, only 1 rebound in this contest. Really was in foul trouble from the get-go.
Ife Ofechukwu, the sophomore from Nigeria, misses the free throw. Ramon Walker Jr. rebounds. Ryan Elvin, a fan favorite. Now a senior out of Cedar Ridge High School in Round Rock.
Good spacing, good movement by these 5 on the floor.
Arsenault with the turnaround.
Boy, he's shown it to us tonight. That has been his spot on the floor. He's gotten there by backing down. He's gotten there by driving. But, boy, what an effective weapon when Terrence Arsenault gets over there and can turn over his left shoulder.
Cedric Lott called for the foul. Redshirt freshman from Ivory Coast, went to high school in San Diego at Balboa School.
If you've never been to California and San Diego and been in the Balboa area, I strongly recommend it. I played for a team called Athletes in Action, and we practiced out of Balboa Park, and one of the most beautiful areas in the country.
Cedric Lott joined the team last winter at semester break. Has practiced with the team since. Keanu Dawes makes both. He has 7 points tonight, and he goes to the bench.
He's going to have a bright future. Boy, he's got a nice skill set, and he's bouncy and long, and he can step outside. And I became a fan of Dawes here this evening. Nice basket by Malik Wilson.
Well, Trey Murphy III, now with New Orleans Pelicans. He was at Rice for 3 years, transferred to Virginia, was a first-round draft pick. And as Scott Parrott told us, you go to Rice, you're a prospect, you're a recruit, you're going to play as a freshman, as Keanu Dawes has started every game this season. Wilson lost it. Camp Wagner the other way, and there's Arsenault with the rejection.
Well, it's a lot of contact down there. Cedric Lott is just banging and banging. Checking into the game for the Rice Owls right now, 22, Jackson Peaks. And you're going to have to forgive me if I call him Adam Peaks. I've called 1,000 games that his dad played in, and what a terrific basketball player Adam Peaks was at Rice. Had a great career. 6'7" wing, could do it all. Could handle the ball, pass, was a great shooter, could score at all 3 levels, and I was a big Adam Peaks fan. And we'll just leave out how old this makes me feel.
Ofechukwu has a lane violation. He'll get another shot. They miss both. Ramon Walker Jr. with the rebound. Ray, with the minutes ago, what did you learn about Houston tonight?
Well, they came out all business, right? We've seen them play good in spurts and then have a little bit of a lull, and I don't remember a lull tonight. It was consistent intensity, consistent on both ends of the floor.
Ryan Elvin makes space for himself and hits the deep two. Wagner misses. Peaks with the rebound. And a good finish inside for Chukwu.
And Cedric Lawton may foul out in the 5 minutes that he's played. And here's Ryan Elvin, the fan favorite. Maybe got away with a little bit of a push-off, but I've never seen a kid that can come off the bench. He can sit over there for 37 minutes and come in locked and loaded like Ryan Elvin can.
If Jordan can get away with it, Ryan Elvin can get away with it.
There you go. Said very few people ever. But 38-point win for the Cougars. They dominated from the get-go. They dominated, rebounding 43 to 29. They